Hey Star Wars fans, it's the Pop Kid and welcome to a brand new episode. DICE and EA have just released the first trailer for Star Wars Battlefront's first DLC pack, Outer Rim. There were quite a number of interesting reveals and things they showed off in this trailer, so that's why today I'm going to be breaking down the trailer as well as dissecting all the gameplay we saw and finding out exactly what these changes and additions mean for Star Wars Battlefront. So the trailer opens with a good look at the larger of the two Jabba's Palace maps. Inside we see a standoff between the Rebellion and the Empire, with Han Solo and Greedo leading the charge for each side. As the battle begins, we get our first good look at the brand new power-up to be added in this DLC, that is called the Ion Disruptor. This weapon looks like an absolute beast. It's a weapon you must charge to fire, and it appears to have a really big kill radius. Essentially think of it as kind of a huge rocket launcher that you have to charge up, and will be super useful for multi-kills. Next up, we get a better look at the locations being added in the DLC, Jabba's Palace on Tatooine, and of course the factories on Sullust. From what we've seen thus far, these maps look absolutely gorgeous, with them each having their own unique flavours and visual elements. The trailer then reveals first gameplay for the brand new Extraction mode. The description of this mode on EA's website didn't give a lot of justice to what it actually is, because I thought it was going to be pretty terrible, to be honest, from what it made it sound like, but actually looking at it, it does look like quite a good concept. The point is that rebels are trying to escort a secret shipment through 3 checkpoints. However, they must fend against Imperial forces in order to escape the battlefield successfully. We also get a look at a new weapon and star card while this gameplay is being shown. At this time, it can be seen that a star card is activated, which is called the Adrenaline Stim, which essentially acts as a quick health regen. I like to think of it as essentially like a stim pack from Fallout 4. This is the first health-based star card we've gotten, so it's quite cool to see, but I personally probably won't use it in my game. The player then goes on to get a kill from a camping scout trooper, with what appears to be one of the brand new sniper weapons in the game. We then get our first look at Nyan Num, and yes, I did call it Nyan Num in the past couple of episodes, but I do apologise about that. It has been since cleared up and it is actually correctly pronounced Nyan Num. Anyway, we begin to get a look at his abilities as he uses a proximity bomb to take out a bunch of stormtroopers. He then goes on to laugh at them. That's actually pretty cruel, but you know, I guess it's all just a game, right? From what we have gathered from the live streams that some YouTubers and Twitch streamers have shown us, as well from this trailer in the bottom corner, Nyan Num's key abilities appear to be a proximity bomb and an augmented turret. It should be noted that Nyan Num's proximity bomb is only available in the smaller game modes of the DLC, and the ability will be replaced with an orbital strike on the bigger game modes. The gameplay that was shown off of him looks incredibly unique, and it's great to see him stand out from the crowd as far as heroes are concerned. His turret should come in incredibly useful, and it is confirmed that he wields a modified pulse cannon, and it appears to charge a lot quicker than it does for regular troopers. As for Greedo, he actually brings a lot to the table as well. He's the first Battlefront hero to introduce something called the confidence meter. It's located just above his health bar, and if he gets enough kills it will fill up. The bottom tier on the meter is just a regular Deoxys grenade, which I'll get to in a moment, but if he gets enough kills and the player does well enough with him, he will eventually get access to a thermal imploder. His other ability appears to be a variant of the scan pulse, which is just a regular star card that all players have access to. It is dubbed high sensors, and I suppose it would just maybe last a bit longer and be a bit more powerful than the regular scan pulse is. As for Greedo's third ability, well, we'll get to that a bit later on in the trailer. Oh yeah, remember that Deoxys grenade I was going to talk about? Yeah, well, it's here and it looks pretty awesome. It essentially acts as kind of poison gas, and if thrown down, it'll kill troopers that walked into the affected area. We then go on to see a couple of troopers standing up on a bridge that absolutely get owned by that Ion Disruptor. God, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that thing. Funnily enough, one of the biggest things to come out of this trailer is just one minor detail. If you paid any attention to the trailer at all, you'll notice one of the regular troopers actually did a roll to the side. This confirms that at the time of the Outer Rim DLC, they'll be adding another update that will allow all players to actually roll. This was something that the old Battlefront games possessed that a lot of people wanted added, and they got their wish, I suppose. I never actually played the older Battlefront games, so I'm not sure how this will affect gameplay, but it looks pretty awesome to me. I am looking forward to a better way to move out of the way of those bloody homing shots though. It is unknown exactly how you roll in relation to the control scheme, but it is confirmed that you can only roll to the side, not backwards and forwards. The old Battlefront games I mentioned just before, they allowed you to roll backwards and forwards as well, and I think that was one of the major flaws with the rolling function. So it's good to see they've changed that. There's not one scene in this trailer that has no useful info in it, as in the next shot, we get our first glimpse at the star card called Scattergun. The interesting about this weapon is that it appears to be the first weapon, star card, or ability at all that can penetrate the personal shield, as the Stormtrooper officially gets the kill against the rebel who has the personal shield up. It's great to see the personal shield actually have a way to be countered now, and this will also draw a lot of players to the scattergun when they may not have ever used it beforehand. But if you look carefully during the scatter shot scene, you'll actually notice a dead Rancor in the corner. Now, it has been confirmed that that is the Rancor's pit, and that is the Rancor, and the Rancor is dead. It's quite funny actually, because everyone wanted the Rancor in the game, but no one specifically said it had to be alive, so I guess DICE wins there. But next up we get the single best shot in the whole trailer. Remember Greedo's third ability I mentioned earlier? Well, this is it, and it's known as precision shots. From what we can gather in the trailer, it looks like that if this ability is pulled off correctly, you can get some absolutely insane multi-kills. Just check this out, this is absolutely insane. Greedo and Nine are not the most popular characters as I mentioned in a previous video, but they certainly did a good job of making them stand out and making them on par with the Luke Skywalker, Han Solo and the rest in terms of how powerful they are. And finally we see a standoff between Greedo and Han Solo in Jabba's palace. Who shot first, I wonder? Who really shot first? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Oh, it cuts to black. But I mean, it's not even a question. We all know who really shot first, don't we? This trailer was absolutely awesome. I don't think there's any other better way to describe it. The DLC will release on March 22nd, and at the same time, they'll add a bunch of new free features for players that don't want to buy the DLC or don't have the Season Pass. Do bear in mind that if you want the DLC but don't own the Season Pass and you just want to buy it pack by pack or something like that, then you will have to wait an extra 2 weeks. So far, Outer Rim DLC has absolutely exceeded my expectations. In the beginning, it looked like it was going to be one of the most boring DLC packs that we were going to get, considering in later packs we're going to get the Death Star, Cloud City, and hopefully Rogue One. I'll talk about that in another video. So getting more Tatooine and Stylus maps just sound really underwhelming compared to those things. But they've done a really good job of making me incredibly excited for this pack. Now I only have to get my hands on it. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you leave some feedback in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to check out some of my other content and subscribe if you like what you see. You can click the link in the description below to watch one of my previous episodes. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the Force be with you.